Welcome to Elevate, Evolve, and Empower, shifting perspectives for total transformation. In this compelling 6-part series, you'll be guided by the industry's finest, Cheryl Parks, Yvette Oldacre, and the visionary Melissa Ambers. These aren't just experts, they are catalysts for change. Take a journey that propels you into your next chapter, igniting unbounded growth and redefining success. For C-suite executives seeking cutting-edge strategies, small businesses hungry for innovation, and professionals yearning for the transformative edge, this series is your compelling invitation to transformation. Get ready to disrupt the ordinary, challenge the status quo, and unlock unparalleled potential. Are you prepared to be moved, inspired, and propelled towards your own evolution? Join us on a transformative odyssey that will reshape your perspective and steer you towards unprecedented success. This is where change happens and where your future takes flight.
My name is Cheryl Parks. I'm also known as the Sales Growth Coach. I come to this area with 25 plus years of experience selling over $25 million in corporate sales, selling to Fortune 1000 companies like Wells Fargo Bank, Discover Financial, Blue Shield of California, and FedEx Office. I have specific thoughts about why I think people can be successful in corporate sales, and I'd love to share them. So we're going to get into this. I'm going to give you a little bit about my story. I grew up as the shyest girl in the room, literally not wanting to ring the bell on the bus on my way home from school in high school, and would just ride along with the next person, get off with them, and walk back to my location, which sounds crazy now. But at some point, I really understood that I had all these goals and dreams, and I was writing them down. And one day I said to myself, I'm not really going to get to be able to achieve what I want to achieve unless I start to show up for myself. And I began to take a mindset journey to walk my way through areas that I needed to really master, for lack of a better term, so that I could show up as my best self. It has been a journey. I'm sharing nuggets. I can't wait to talk more about how I took the mindset journey to get to where I am, but also share information and transformational pieces on how you can be successful in corporate sales as well. Thanks so much for tuning in. We're going to be talking about selling from the heart. And I've got some great tips for you. So stay tuned, because I'm going to be dropping these nuggets in as I have this general overview conversation around how I really got focused on selling from the heart in terms of my corporate sales career, which then in turn drives what I do in my business right now. Okay, so originally I came into the process and my thought was, I want to be sure that I'm always creating space for people to actually share who they are, what they do, and provide a way for me to actually value their experience in the world, their expertise, and what they need. And a lot of times, especially 20 to 25 years ago, those things weren't happening. Salespeople were kind of coming in with their own agenda. They really wanted to jump in and sell someone something. And so I differentiated myself in that space because I wanted to be sure that I was supporting the end in mind goal of the prospect or the buyer. So in selling from the heart, there were a couple of things that I did, and I'm going to touch on a few things that I did as a shy introvert person. And then I'm also going to give you what I did just in a sales perspective. So you're going to get a little bit of the emotional side and a little bit of the tactical strategy side. From an emotional side, I got into sales. I was probably in my late 20s, and I got into sales because my father worked for Xerox and was a sales executive, and he made a really great living. Like, we had a great childhood growing up. I wasn't shy for any other reason than we moved across the country when I was about 14 years old. And I found myself going deep into a hole and deciding that I would live in my own head and not really reach out and connect with people around me. So as the story goes, I jumped into sales in my late 20s, and I made a decision that anyone that I came in contact with would be better off after our conversation, meeting, or engagement than they were before. meaning that I always wanted to provide value. I always wanted to provide insight. I wanted to make sure they felt seen, heard, and valued. And this was really on the beginning stages of my career, partially because I wasn't a super salesy salesperson, and I probably didn't have the pushy, more assertive edge. So I thought I would take it in I would come in a different door and really get to know them as a person and understand what they were motivated by. So in selling from the heart, one of the first things that you can really do is you can actually just understand who you're speaking to in terms of the buyer, in terms of your prospect, and really understand not only what motivates them if you're calling on corporate or a business owner, what motivates them around getting a solution to their problem. So that would be first and foremost. You want to find out the motivating factors. We all have them, right? So when we're buying things, we look around and we say, the reason that I'm loyal to this brand is for a certain reason. The reason that I would make a change in my household is for a certain reason. So we all have motivating factors. So that's one thing that I did from selling from the heart. I started to look around and see what they were motivated by personally from their position in the business or the company, and then what their company or their business was motivated by. Because businesses and companies, even though they're entities, their brands typically stand for something. So that would be nugget number one. The second thing that I started to do was I started to realize that all I needed to do was show up as my excellent best. I even had a mantra, and the mantra was, be your excellent best. The reason for that is because if you can literally be committed to doing all that you can in an excellent fashion for yourself, notice I did not say perfect, you'll want to show up as your excellent best, and then you'll be able to really detach from the outcome. I started to realize if I felt like I was prepared, I could detach from the outcome. If I felt like I had literally, as they say in sports, left it all on the field, and I really went in and provided as much insight, as much detail, and as much solution as I could provide, I felt like I could detach from the outcome. And what that meant to me was I'm not constantly chasing and trying to figure out why you're not buying and trying to manipulate a situation or giving deadlines and saying you have to buy by the end of the month or the end of the quarter, when I knew that if they called me back a day after the end of the month, I would probably take the deal, right? So that was number two, right? I had to find a way to really detach from the outcome in a genuine, authentic way so that it wasn't just like, I don't care. It's literally, no, I feel like I've shown up, I've provided all that's necessary to show up for myself so that I could literally see that the cost of inaction was very evident to them. Okay, so those are two nuggets. Then I'm going to get to the third one, which is I would literally call myself Chief Navigation Officer when I was calling on large corporations. So in other words, if you are out here and you're calling on large corporations, and or maybe you are a part of a large corporation, you might want to know that you can help your buyer get solutions from other areas within the organization so that they can make better decisions, right? So again, that has everything to do with becoming a trusted advisor. They can really look to you to see what else is going on in the space, look for insight, look for perspective. They know that you can connect them to other people that can support their end in mind goals and things of that nature. Again, you'll notice this is always about the buyer and their agenda and their priorities. The more we can support and serve, the better off we'll be in the long run. And then the final nugget that I would provide literally is to have fun. Enjoy yourself. Be a human, right? People are looking to get connected with other humans, again, that have goals and aspirations, are looking to do exciting things, that are looking to make a mark, leave a legacy, right? Or simply get the solution they're looking for to make their lives easier. Be as human-esque as you can while you are positioning yourself to become and be the trusted advisor, but will want to always enjoy yourself, have a good time, and let them know that you're here for them and that you can provide what it is they need, whether it's an answer to a question or actually the product or service offering that you're providing. All right, so we've talked a little bit about selling from the heart. I gave you two emotional components and then two more strategy tactical components. I'm going to go over them really quickly. The first one literally had everything to do with being your excellent best so that you can detach from the outcome. The second one literally comes into serving so that you can actually provide a solution for them and understanding and being compassionate about the process that they go through to make decisions. And then the last two had more to do with strategy, help people navigate to find solutions. Sometimes the solution is outside the business that you have or the company that you work for. A lot of times it's inside. It could be an option that you want to provide to a client that you've never provided before, but you know it is in your wheelhouse. And then finally, have fun, be human, understand that everyone's got a little something going on in the background these days. We've all been there. And the better you can show up and as a compassionate human, the better off you'll be in terms of being a trusted advisor. All right. Those are your 4 nuggets for selling from the heart. Thanks so much for listening.